Hello everyone and welcome to my little corner of the internet. My name's Michael and I'm bitten by a radioactive book. Today is Monday and Monday means review time on my channel, and today I'm reviewing the Hugo Award winning novel Ancillary Justice by Leckie. Just this Saturday I took part in a live discussion about the book, so if you're interested in a very in-depth look, not only from me but from a lot of other interesting booktubers, please go to Nicole's channel from Nicole's Adventures in SFF. There you can re-watch the live show if you missed it. Ancillary Justice takes us into the far future, where the humans seem to have split up into different cultures, and one of the cultures we're following or the main culture we're following are the Wretch. And the Wretch are a very aggressive conquering race, and they develop ships that are sentient, so have a AI that is self-aware, and these AIs can control a lot of bodies, not like robots, not like clones. It's for you to find out what they actually are, and these bodies are called ancillaries, and the ancillaries have part of the consciousness are part of the consciousness of the ship. So the ship can be at multiple places at the same time. And we are following Breck. Breck is one ancillary. It's the last remaining ancillary from the ship Justice of Torren, and the ship Justice of Torren was destroyed. And now Breck is on the path of revenge, I would say, to get justice for the Justice of Torren. And so on the one hand we see how she's taking on that path of revenge, and of course how she deals with being now alone, and before being such a great part of the ship with many ancillaries to command and many eyes to see everywhere. And this is told in two different timelines, in alternating chapters. The first timeline, the main timeline, follows Breck, and the second timeline follows Breck in the past, where she's part of the ship still, and we're seeing the events that lead to the actual destruction of the Justice of Torren. And these alternating chapters remain there for like 2/3 of the novel, and then the last third is only the first narrative. This book won a lot of prizes and awards. The Hugo Award, I think the Nebula Award, the Arthur C. Clarke Award, and it did this mainly because it has some very interesting stylistic approaches. The first approach being that the language of the Wretch only knows one grammatical gender. So there is no he, she, it, there's only she. And so when the ship encounters someone, or when Breck encounters someone, she's always referring to the person as she. And for some characters we learn the actual gender, because they are maybe addressed by someone in another language, and so we can see the gender. But for some characters, for the whole novel, it's up to the reader to decide if the character is actually male or female. The second stylistic element being that the ship, of course, in the past chapters has this multiple awareness because of their ancillaries, and so we are seeing some scenes that swap really quickly between the viewpoint of different ancillaries, so we're seeing a lot of stuff happening at the same time, and that also can affect like dialogue, that we're seeing one dialogue happening and being witnessed by one of the ancillaries, and at the same time there's another dialogue ongoing from the point of view of another ancillary. That is maybe sometimes a bit confusing, but I found it really well done and not too messy. There's never more than really two conversations going on at the same time, and it's relatively easy to see which answers belong to which conversation, so it's not too bad, I think. And the third thing, of course, that's interesting is that Brack, as an ancillary and part of a former AI, is not really a human character. So we're dealing with a character that has emotions at some point, but yeah, is still not actually really human, and therefore it's difficult maybe to relate to her. At least it was difficult for me, because the prose tries to show that kind of AI and artificial feeling by being a bit more cold and distant. That's what I got from it, and that was something that actually affected me a lot, because I wasn't really engaged with Brack, for example, and because Brack narrates everything, I was also not able to connect to many of the other characters. There's one character, Lieutenant On, or An, don't know, or On, in the past storyline, that was the most relatable personally for me, or the one I clicked with the most, but yeah, I didn't have a connection with Brack at all, or with any of the other characters. There were even characters like Save Warden. Save Warden is a character that Brack meets really early on, because she literally stumbles over him, and she knows him from her past, and yeah, if you read on, you get the feeling, or that was my personal feeling, that he is a mere plot device. There's something in the end where he is needed, and to not seem his appearance being too much of a Deus Ex Machina, I had the feeling that the author put him in early on in the beginning of the novel, so he's already there. But he serves no real purpose beyond that plot device function, and therefore a lot of time actually he's not dealt with at all. So he's asleep, or he's unconscious, or just passive-aggressive and not talking, and to give his character a little more depth, the author gave him like a drug addiction. But this drug addiction, on the other hand, then is really played down, because it's not really something that's seriously affecting him, at least for us to see, and is in the end completely forgotten. So I wasn't happy with this character, for example, at all, because he, yeah, as I said, always felt more like a plot device for me. The second thing is that regarding the plot, I really enjoyed the past storyline, like how this destruction of the Justice of Torrent came to be. But I had the feeling that the main storyline has actually, yeah, a very small amount of plot. For most of the time, the first narrative has to wait for the second one to catch up, and only in the last third really things start happening in the first storyline. And yeah, I felt it was, although it was a shorter book, it was really slow in this first narrative, and I have to say I didn't enjoy the first narrative at all. I wasn't interested in the characters, I wasn't really interested in the plot. The plot merely fits into a tweet. I won't spoil it for you here, but it's a very simple plot, I think, and I have to say I was a bit, or not a bit, I think I was disappointed by the book. I only rated it 2 out of 5 stars in the end, because the whole book was more like a Freudian experience for me, where my superego could acknowledge what the author tried to do and enjoyed, or not enjoyed, the stylistic elements, but I could appreciate the stylistic elements and the work that went into it. But my it really was bored to death. I'm sorry I have to say it like that, but I found the book rather boring, and yeah, therefore the merits didn't turn it around for me. And I think it, from my point of view, it highly depends if you are interested in the stylistic concepts the novel has, because then it is a very exciting novel, because the stylistic elements are all, yeah, executed really, really well. But for me it was more like singular events, like, oh, there's this stylistic element, and oh, I understand what she's trying to do with it, and this is a process that's happened within 1 or 2 minutes. I was like, oh yeah, that is cool. But the book took me like 10 hours to read, and acknowledging like 3 elements that are always grasped within like 2 or 5 minutes, that leaves a lot of normal book stuff like plot, characters, world building, and in all of those things the novel did okay, but wasn't really something that engaged me or interested me so much. So I'm not quite sure if I'm going to continue with the series at all, because the second novel, Ancillary Sword, comes out in October 7th, I think, so I won't buy it right away or read it right away. Maybe I'm waiting a bit for reviews to come in and pick it up later, because maybe we have a chance that the novel does something different, because when we leave the characters at the end of the first novel, it seems to be that the second novel will have like a different setting and maybe a different approach as well, so that might interest me even more, because the world building on the other hand was really yeah, really intriguing. The whole idea of the Ratch, their culture, the mentioning of maybe other alien races or other human cultures were very intriguing, and that would be my main point where I say, yeah, I'm interested enough to pick up more in the series to see where that goes and to get more information about it. But to be a really enjoyable read, I think there would a lot of the novel, or yeah, there would be a need to change a lot. So that's it for this review today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of me, subscribe to my channel. If you want to know what's coming up on my channel, please look inside the description box. There's a little segment called On the Horizon. I wish you a good day and hope you get bitten by a really good book too. Bye.